Hey there, pipe fans. Welcome back. Today I've got something really unique and different for my channel. This past weekend, my friend Rick Newcomb drove down from Los Angeles to spend some time with me in my workshop. And while he was here, he and I decided to sit down and have some conversations that we recorded. We thought you all would be interested to hear some of his thoughts and our conversation on these subjects. So please do tune in, and I hope you do enjoy. One thing I wanted to mention before we begin is that at the very beginning of this first video of 3, there are some audio issues with my microphone, and I wanted to encourage you to bear with me. It does get better as the video goes on, but I apologize in advance. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy our conversation. So I'm here today with my friend Rick Newcomb, who drove down from Los Angeles to spend a day in the workshop with me. And Rick was here so we could look at pipes, we could enjoy pipes together, and well, we haven't had a pipe day in 2 years, so we're excited to finally be back together in person.
Cheers. Yes.
Cheers to that.
We are.
And Rick and I wanted to take some time to talk to each other about maybe some of his history with pipes. Many of you have read his books In Search of Pipe Dreams or Still Searching for Pipe Dreams, and talk about where that passion came from, maybe talk about some of the subjects in the book or even beyond the book. Because when did you publish Still Searching for Pipe Dreams, the second book?
The second book was 2010.
2010, so it's been 11 years since that came out. Nothing's changed and everything's changed in that 11 years, I'm sure.
I think the biggest change is that the snowball of anti-smoking has just really continued to gather momentum and steam, and things that would have been unfathomable when I started smoking a pipe in the 1970s are now taken as that's the way it is.
What are some examples of that?
You know, it's funny, but when I travel, in the old days, if I forgot pipe cleaners, it was no big deal. You go into the drugstore and get some pipe cleaners.
Right.
Well, now, unless they have a kids' play section with pipe cleaners for...
I wouldn't use those plastic ones.
Right. So there, you know, that's one little example.
It's a little harder to travel as a pipe smoker.
Yes, you have to remember to bring your pipe cleaners, and anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, and you know, I don't know. I like to think that as pipe smokers, we are fiddly people who like fiddly things, and
Yes.
there's something endearing maybe about packing up our things, although disappointing when we do forget them.
Yes.
It does.
Wait, I do want
Sure.
to say that during that time period since 2010, while the anti-smoking movement has gained momentum, this has forced me to think about: are there any health benefits to smoking a pipe? I don't really focus on that in either of my books. Maybe a little bit talking about the stress reduction. And Ed Colpin, the founder of the Tinderbox, used to say adamantly with his pipe, you live longer with a pipe. And he lived to 97.
That's okay.
He said it was very good for stress reduction. It lets the steam out and stress is a killer. We all know that. But I've been thinking about, especially then during the lockdown, at the pandemic, that we don't have pipe shows, and how important the pipe shows were, and why were they important? What is it about this hobby that is actually very healthy? And the answer is the friendships.
The community.
The community.
Yes.
And we all, you know, especially with the elderly, the two of the biggest killers of the elderly are stress and loneliness. And the world of pipes has an answer for both. So at least in my mind, I think that there are dramatic health benefits in the world of pipes. The two biggest ones that I've been able to identify, and I do want to write more about this, are the stress reduction aspect of moderate pipe smoking without inhaling, and the friendship aspect.
Right.
That, you know, to combat loneliness.
Yeah.
Especially with the elderly.
When you think about, like, during a normal year, how many times would we see each other? We would see each other
Probably
in Chicago,
yeah,
maybe 6, 7 times a
yeah.
year. And during the pandemic, it all slammed to a halt, and it made me, for one, and it sounds like you too, just recognize how valuable that community was to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it made me understand, in part, why I do what I do, is that I love being around the people
Yes.
in the pipe community.
Yes.
And how much, joy and fulfillment those
Yeah.
relationships give me.
Yeah, same here, same here.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely great getting together today. And I mean, you wanted to talk about some of the pipes. So here is a pipe that I have that, this was a Weber pipe, probably made in the 1950s. It was a factory pipe, but with, I don't know if you can see in the camera the intricate carvings. It's just phenomenal. And the mouthpiece was not a good one. It was an old stem and it hardly fit, and it was kind of, so I commissioned Jeff to make a hand-cut mouthpiece because you can't duplicate this bowl. This is a work of art in a sense, and it's really nicely shaped. Don't you agree?
I agree, yeah.
Very professionally shaped. Maybe a factory pipe, but it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And then with a hand-cut mouthpiece that's extremely comfortable. Jeff knows just what I like, and that's very important. And I wound up paying more money for the mouthpiece than for the pipe, and yet together it is like suddenly one of my most valuable pipes. So that's just a unique story. I'm just so glad I came down here.
Yeah. Well, let's raise a bowl to
Yeah.
to hopefully being able to do more of this in the future, in the near
Absolutely.
future.
Absolutely.
And so there we have it, the first of the 3 videos I recorded with Rick. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and that you look forward to what we have to say in the upcoming videos. Please do tune back in and subscribe to the channel so you can be made aware when the next 2 videos are published. Thanks again, and happy puffing.